of Allegiance.
Again, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now observe a 30-second moment of silence. Thank you. Moving to A3, adoption of the agenda. Are there any consent agenda items that a board member would like to have discussed as an action item? Hearing none, do I have a motion that the governing board adopt the meeting agenda?
I move that the governing board adopt the meeting agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Moving to B, public comment. We have none today. Moving to C, consent agenda. C1, approval of consent agenda items. I call for a motion that the governing board approve consent agenda items C2 through C7.
I move that we approve the consent agenda items C2 through C7.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Moving to D, business services. D1, I call for a motion that the governing board approve the Alhambra School District Annual Financial Report for the 2022-2023.
I move that the governing board approve the Alhambra School District Annual Financial Report for the fiscal year 2022-2023.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Any questions? And the floor is also open to Mr. Huseman for any information.
Thank you, President Conches, members of the board, and Dr. Maez. Just a few comments about the annual financial report. The annual financial report is a historic document detailing the actual revenues and expenditures of the district of the prior fiscal year. The district is required to have the board approve and certify the annual financial report, and it must be submitted electronically to ADE. The format of the AFR is relatively the same as in past years, but please allow me to walk you through the copies that were included electronically in your packet. The first page is the cover page requiring your signatures, signifying that you have certified this document at this meeting. The cover page is followed by pages 1 through 10, and these pages are an accounting of the various funds that held by the district. Following page 10 is a summary page requiring the president's signature and will be published on the district and ADE websites. Next is a supplement to the AFR, but we do not use any funds on this page. After the supplement is a reserve balance page or fund balance reserve page listing the fund balances and the district's fund balance reserve goals. Also included as attachments are the food service annual financial report, which lists revenues, expenses, and other information about our food service program, and the classroom site fund narrative results relating specifically to the classroom site fund. These pages include descriptive information as well as more detail regarding classroom site funds. Also included in your packet is a single page reporting on the use and the budget amounts of our override funds and bond fund. Obviously, there's an abundance of information in this report and update, and subject to your questions, that concludes my comments on the annual financial report, the overrides, and the bond.
Any questions?
I appreciate the detail and the explanations, the narrative that you've included. That really helps me understand it, so thank you.
I agree. Thank you very much for including all of these documents. I want to highlight for the general public who may be watching this online, the end teacher compensation increases for fiscal year 2023 was $2,885,128. in class size reduction was $1,451,585. And totals is $4,419,650 for that column. So this is something to be very proud of, and thank you, Mr. Huesman, for your team. Thank you to Dr. Myers and your cabinet for continuing to make sure that we are responsible with our taxpayer funds and that we are managing our finances correctly. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
We'll now call a roll call vote.
Mr. Conchas,
Aye.
Ms. De Ocampo,
Aye.
Mr. Navarez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Motion is passed. Moving to E, comments and communications. E1, comments from governing board members. Any comments today?
Oh, okay. I had the opportunity to go to the Council of Urban Board of Education conference in Chicago. That's why I missed the last board meeting. It was a very educational experience. It was boom, 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 boom. I mean, there wasn't a minute to do anything except step out of the hotel and get some fresh air. Lots of good ideas. I saw that we as a state are in bad shape. We all know that. That's nothing new. But we as a school board, school district, Alhambra is thriving and doesn't face many of the issues that other districts are facing. I'm really proud of the way we as a team and we as a district have worked together and how we have worked to keep ourselves educated on how to support the staff and the families and the community of Alhambra. The ideas that were put forth, many of them were things I thought, oh gosh, we've been doing that for a long time. How come you think it's so important that you just started it? So I thought that was really nice to see that we're on the right track. Following that, I know safety is so important for us in our district. I went to a bus evacuation drill. Oh my gosh, Vanessa and her team were absolutely incredible. They had shown videos to the students ahead of time that drivers had their little spiels rehearsed. It made you feel very confident that if there was a bus accident, those students would know how to get off that bus. And then I had the wonderful experience of going to a parent tour at James W. Rice. And I was so impressed by the questions the parents asked. It was very exciting to see them come and be so proud of themselves for showing up and taking a tour of the school. And then, like I said, the level, that wasn't just like, I'm going to wave at my kid when I go by the classroom. They wanted to know about the new books in the library. They wanted to know about schedules for the 7th and 8th grade. They wanted to know how the new field was being used. I mean, they asked really good questions. So I thought that was a wonderful experience and a wonderful opportunity for those parents to come and see that. Beyond that, fall break is right around the corner. Rest up. I know you guys have all been working so hard. Take some time off. Take a couple of deep breaths. Enjoy some time with your family and friends, or just sit out in the backyard. The weather's cooling down. You could actually probably sit outside and read a book for a couple of days. Enjoy your rest.
I just want to share some reflections. I had the continued pleasure to visit some of your campuses. You know, once I walk on the campus, immediately I just see how hard everybody's working, and I see all the students' faces. You know, every time they see me down the hall, they're trying to wave hi, even though I'm probably distracting them from what's going on. But it just that's a great attitude that a lot of the students I'm seeing share when I'm seeing them, you know, learn and do great things on campus. But I just appreciate everybody who's been working very hard and also allowing me to just take a visit and stroll around your campus. So thank you.
I have one other thing. I am so impressed with our school custodial staff. You walk in those buildings and you can see your face off the shining floors. They are so impressive, the way they are keeping our schools so spotlessly clean. Um, I see that when I go out, and I'm sure you do too.
I'll just add to the conversation. I feel like I could eat off the floor of Sevilla East front office. I probably won't do that, but that's how I felt. Principals, you're the guiding lights of our schools, the architects of our children's future. Your leadership shapes the learning environment, sets the tone for our classrooms, and inspires both students and staff to reach new heights. Through every challenge, our principals stand resolute. They ensure that our schools remain safe, inclusive, and nurturing. Our principals are mentors, advocates, role models, and they offer unwavering support to all of those under their care. On National Principals Day/month, let's extend our deepest gratitude to your tireless efforts. Your commitment to the betterment of our schools and the well-being of our schools is nothing short of extraordinary. So to all of our principals out here, thank you. Thank you for your exceptional work, your boundless dedication, and your enduring commitment to education. National Principals Month is our chance to shine a spotlight for the incredible work that you do every single day. So let's give our principals a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Also, I would like to let folks know why I am dressed down today. I see that there's a lot of Spirit Week happening out there. So today I've decided to bring my Jaguar spirit. And also because it was too hot outside to wear a suit. The other thing I wanted to mention is since I last spoke with you all, I did attend the National Association of Latino Elected Officials Emergency Preparedness training in Dallas, Texas. And that was an opportunity to, one, celebrate Emergency Preparedness Month in September, but also for me to get a really good insight about how other municipalities, states, local municipalities, counties, variety of different elected officials handle emergencies and the different types of emergencies that could occur. And we actually went through an inventory of our own communities and like everything that could happen. And so I was really interesting that my list just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, thinking about aviation and the flight path, thinking about hazard and chemicals with a possible train derailment on Grand Avenue. A lot of different things came to mind and came to the forefront. And the great thing is that I already know that, you know, our team is prepared for those things. But I'm just really excited to dive more deeply into it and to enhance my knowledge when it comes to that. Because as we talked about in the training, the governing board, we have to have an agenda and a meeting set out 24 hours in ahead of time. So if something happens, we are not able to meet for a whole 24 hours. And so that means that we have to be prepared now before anything ever happens. And we know that we have our leader, our superintendent, and the cabinet, and we have all of our principals and staff. And so let's just be prepared for whatever comes our way. And with that, I'm done talking. Moving to E2, governing board direction and/or agenda item requests. I will just remind our governing board members that we are planning a retreat, and Ms. Dana Lucero will provide more information about that.
Do we have a date?
Potential date, and she will let you know more.
Give me some advance warning, please. Last time you moved the board meeting, I didn't even know.
End of November.
Okay.
After Thanksgiving. Yes. TBD. All right, so E3, comments from superintendent and executive team.
Good evening, everyone. We'll begin our announcements today with Ms. Claire Perry.
Good evening, President Conchas, governing board members, Dr. Myers, and our Alhambra community. Last week on Wednesday, two of our HR administrators, Mark Liberty and Marjorie Paez, were able to join our Director of Child Nutrition, Brianne Ross, and present some information to their child nutrition staff about career development, growing themselves and earning more hourly wages, as well as some financial literacy and financial planning. It was really successful. As a result, we've already have a few of our child nutrition staff moving over on our salary schedule, and all of them are excited about the opportunities. And we wanted to share that the team will be reaching out to outreach coordinators at our sites to set up this opportunity for our support staff at all of our sites. A little mini road show is coming for career development for our support staff, so it's exciting already. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, President Conchas, Governing Board members, Superintendent Dr. Maez. So we understand and know and believe that every day counts for our students to be in school. And we know that just missing the first 2 days of the first month of school, or 2 days within the first month of school, is enough to put them on track at being at risk for chronically absent. And the negative impacts from that can lead to just deficient skills in reading, writing, math, and oftentimes kids who are chronically absent don't finish high school. So we are on an intense initiative to make change for our students who may have some challenges getting to school. We are working as a united team, many people involved, but we are focusing on really empowering and teaching our staff, our families, our students about the negative impacts of chronic absenteeism, but also the strategies of how to get to school in ways that can get you to school. Make appointments on Wednesday afternoons if you have to go to the doctor, make them on holidays, times that don't affect your learning. And we have designed some quarterly incentives as a district. So we're also monitoring school attendance as a district. So Q1, we're hoping everybody can get to that 92%. It increases, and by Q4, we want all of our schools to be at least 95% of attendance in schools. But we're celebrating kids, we're celebrating classrooms, we're celebrating schools. We're also targeting students with challenges with some intensive interventions, and our people are doing some really important communication and connecting with our families to help them with that. So it's all hands on deck. We're going to be doing a lot of teaching and empowering, but we are going to make change, and we're going to improve attendance for our kids.
All right. Good evening, President Conchas, Governing Board members, Dr. Maez, Alhambra community. It was during our last board meeting that in the course of that week, ADE was visiting campuses as a result of corrective action for our English language models in our classrooms. And it was through the hard work under the leadership of Director Karen Schmaltz, the EL coaches here at the district level, and most notably the staff at Granada East, Granada West, James W. Rice, ATS, Westwood, and Choice Learning Academy, that the very next day from when we last met here in this boardroom, that the state debriefed with a group of us, including Dr. Maez, and shared the tremendous work that's happening and immediately removed us from that corrective action. So we celebrate all of the hard work that went into that, and again, really do call attention to those 6 schools that demonstrated what good EL instruction looks like in those classrooms that were monitored by the state. So congratulations to you all, and thank you, Mrs. Schmaltz.
President Conchas, members of the board, and Dr. Maez. Many of our operations teams have wildly important goals related to improving customer service. We recognize the role we play in reducing the stress of our sites so that they may focus maximum energy on our most important job, which is educating our students. So results are motivating, and I'm pleased to share a few progress tidbits with you this evening. Transportation and our site admin focus on the 7-minute load time window has resulted in the highest number of on-time arrivals across 3 tiers that we have ever seen. For the month of September, the technology team has reduced their help desk tickets from a baseline response time of an average of 48 hours to an average of 3 hours. Now, mind you, the challenges are not solved in 3 hours, but our staff is being assured that there is a plan in the works to resolve their concerns, and that relief is being shown in the surveys, in the response surveys after being supported, with respondents, 96% of respondents sharing that they're very satisfied with the job that the team completed for them. And our facilities and maintenance team is also taking steps to better care for our customers. Sites are now receiving super detailed work orders, acknowledgements, and can count on specified timelines for work completion to help our leaders focus their energy on, again, what's most important. They're not worried about how is this getting done. They have a timeline now that they can trust. So I'm very pleased with the progress that they're just showing in 1 month of focus. I appreciate the leadership of Dr. Myers as we engage in those wildly important goals, because when you monitor expectations, things happen. So it's nice to see that progress. On another note, I am excited to share about a meeting that Principal Wegner and I had this afternoon with Unlimited Potential. They are a nonprofit organization that supports adult literacy and language development, and the organization has received a grant to support free language classes for refugee parents, and they want to partner with Alhambra. We don't have details yet, but it's just super exciting that the reputation of Alhambra is out there, that organizations reach out to us to partner with us and want to bring things to our families. So as things are finalized, we'll be sure to bring more information to you, but it's just nice to know that people want to engage with Alhambra, and as a result, our families benefit.
Thank you, everyone, for your updates. President Conchas, I appreciate you acknowledging the hard work of our principals, and I too would just like to thank our principals for all your hard work and just all the difference that you're making in our schools and in our community. And we look forward to, Gabriel assures me that we will be highlighting you on our social media next week, or beginning after break, I think. And so again, I look forward to seeing each of you highlighted for the amazing things you're doing in our schools. I would like to also just thank everyone for participating in the journey of finding the leader in all of us. So we know everyone's a leader, from our kids to each and every one of you. Our staff, we know our teachers all engaged in the training so that they could ensure that we're modeling those 7 habits of highly effective people for our kids, and also teaching those habits. But I appreciate that this week our district leaders had the opportunity to sit in the training and see what our students are learning, what our teachers are learning, and what we need to learn, all as leaders, as we know that those habits are important for us as we want to be the most effective people and leaders we can be. I want to encourage everyone, the well-being survey is still out. Last I looked, there were 305 responses, and we have a lot more than 305 employees, and every one of our employees is important. So we hope to see more responses before that timeframe concludes. With Principal Noble in the audience, I want to say that you actually have a lot of staff that filled it out. And what I was sharing with our association leaders as I met with them earlier, that communicates to me that our staff know that you'll read it and listen. And that's really what's important to us. Is I know that I want to reassure our staff that if they take the time to complete that, our leaders, myself included, will read it and will seek to understand how we can best support everyone's well-being. So again, leaders, please encourage your staff to complete it, and I look forward to sharing the feedback. So far, we are learning that staff are in a really good place. Staff are overwhelmed. They're working hard. You all know that it's hard work in our schools. But the key is to stay focused on our purpose and the difference we're making for our kids. And overall, we'll continue to work together to support one another to ensure we have the greatest impact on learning for our kids. So again, thank you to everyone. I hope you all take some time to rest this next week. And as always, we appreciate you. And again, I acknowledge our association leaders and the work that we've been doing together as we continue to problem solve and just support our entire community. So thank you to everyone for all your efforts. And I see some aspiring leaders in the audience as well. So I want to acknowledge Mr. Metz, who is in a leadership program and is a growing leader in our school district, and Ms. Shauna Becker over there as well. So aspiring leaders, we are excited to grow our leadership pipeline. So again, thank you all for all your hard work, and may you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Moving to F, meeting closing. F1, our next governing board meeting will be held on October 26, 2023. The meeting will begin with a study session from 5 to 6 p.m. F2, calendar of events. The calendar of events can be found on the aeesd.org website. It looks really good, so go check it out.
Yeah, it does look good.
And the end of the quarter is October 6th. There is no school next week, October 9th to the 13th. F3, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Discussion, my discussion is, Mr. Solorio has been with us almost this whole meeting, and I forgot to acknowledge him. So hi, Mr. Solorio, and we will see
Hey,
you at the Go
yeah,
ahead.
I apologize. I had all sorts of technological issues, so yes, I'm here, and I will, happily close and adjourn or approve, say an aye to
Thank you. All
adjourn.
those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This meeting is
Aye.
adjourned.